quick announcement. Brand new website just hit, lunamoonsupyoga.com. That's Lunamoon Sup Yoga. Use your code LUNA10 for your merchandise, your lip balms. There's brand new batches of lip balms that are out there. Use LUNA10, and mistymarkham.com will still exist. But for all the things yoga, your classes, schedules, and any information about classes. Hi, welcome to the podcast. This is Wave On with Misty. I'm with Luna Moon Stand-Up Paddleboard Yoga here in Sylvan Lake, Michigan. And I want to welcome you to this inspirational podcast where you'll find stories behind the scenes, storytelling on and off of the water. We might talk a little bit about paddleboarding, but there's going to be a wide variety of guests coming, and I'm excited to introduce this podcast for you. I hope you enjoy it. Welcome to the podcast. So we've got Elissa here in the house. She's from Sylvan Lake, Michigan, and she's a personal trainer. She's got a lot of knowledge on health and wellness, even with her down to her animals, her dogs and cats that she has. And I invited her on to share her story, her own personal story about being a professional entrepreneurial on her own, doing fitness for so many years. How many years? 30 plus?
30 plus years, yes.
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
Nice. Yeah, that's good. It's good to have that, right?
Yeah. It just flew by.
It flew by. Yeah, well, so, I mean, who do you basically tend to the most?
Well, I train a variety of clients, and I guess I would have to say the majority of my clients, if I had to weigh it all out, would be women from 30 to 80, I would say.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a wide range. So then you have to kind of cater to that audience, right? From 30 being a little bit different than 80, right?
Yeah. I just, when I was in college, I kind of tried to learn a lot more about women's wellness and women's fitness and osteoporosis and things that go along with being a woman. So even when I was like finishing school and, from, time of college starting, when I got my exercise physiology degree, I just wanted to help women. And I kind of went on that road, even though I do train men and I do train kids and some seniors, but mostly I've been tending towards women because I feel like they need the strength training with the osteoporosis and the older age with their bones and things like that. So that's kind of where I went with it, and that's where I'm here still doing.
Great. That's awesome. Yeah. And you have a nice website with a blog that you post to daily. So you're also a really good cook. You're the personal trainer foodie.
Yes, I'm a foodie. I get teased a lot because I'll be training a client and I'll be like, "What are you eating for dinner?" And they're like, "Why are you thinking about dinner at 6:30 in the morning?" I'm like, I am preparing ahead because I like to cook. I love to give food away to people and samples, and I've been cooking since I was 8 years old, really. So
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
My grandma was Middle Eastern, so when you're from that kind of background, you get a lot of pick up the knife and start learning how to chop when you're 8 years old. So
perfect.
Tabbouleh.
Yeah. Tabbouleh, nice. I didn't know what tabbouleh was when I was 8.
You were from a different part of town. If you were from this area, you would have known.
Right. And plus my parents were, from the southern states. They were doing more like fried green tomatoes.
Yeah. That's funny.
But you you have given me some of your samples of your recipes that you have made personally, and even today some cabbage soup, which I'm excited to try out later. So that'll be fun.
Yeah, I like to have food in the fridge. I don't want to feel stressed out that I have to go get something real quick when I'm working, and you definitely make better choices when you have healthier food in your house to eat. So that's what I always try to tell my clients. That's why I think about food. You prepare ahead. I know it's a little bit more work, but I enjoy it. It's kind of an outlet for me. So,
right. You're thinking ahead because you do have to think ahead. You have to have stuff available to make that recipe. I mean, maybe you're missing one ingredient or two. I know I have definitely learned more about cooking over the past 8 months or so, and I've just been trying to keep it creative.
Yeah, it's been different, hasn't it? A lot of people are cooking more with the pandemic thing going on, obviously not being able to go out. And you know what, though? In a way, I guess that's a good thing because people are learning how to make food for their families that's going to be healthier than eating out or getting carry out anyway. So,
right. Even though we want to support a local business or restaurant, it's like, yeah, that might be the Friday night thing or once every 2 weeks versus maybe whatever we were doing before. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Of course, I like to go out too. It's nice to have someone wait on you and not have to do all the cleanup.
Yeah.
But
I've started to think about it like almost like camping. I'm like, how much what else can I throw on this hot plate?
yeah.
Just to keep it interesting, and not follow a recipe necessarily, but.
Well, sometimes I think when you don't follow a recipe, like that soup I gave you, I made it up. I kind of had some roasted vegetables from the day before that I used this really amazing Moroccan spice from Simply Good, that really cool kitchen store in Birmingham.
Oh, yeah, nice.
And I used my Moroccan spice to roast these vegetables, and I had them. I'm like, I'm going to put them in my cabbage soup. I'm going to make a different kind of cabbage soup. So everybody loves it, and I put it on my blog. So it's the best cabbage soup on my blog on my website. So
was it most recent post lately where people could find it?
I think it was about a month or two ago I posted that recipe. So yeah, I mean, you don't have to have the spice, but it does add a little bit of a zip and the spice I used on the roasted vegetables. But it's nice to, kind of experiment, and then you come up with these, really cool recipes that you never had thought of before.
Sure. No, the blog is great, and you post pretty regularly on it. Like you've got the harvest pumpkin lentil soup. Like that sounds really good.
Yeah. I love making soups. I love making soups because they're filling. And being a woman that's, after menopause, you want to get full. You don't want to eat. You gain weight a little easier. It's true. But at the same time, if you eat foods that are filling, like the soup that I gave you is so filling. I mean, I can't even believe it. I can't even eat a huge bowl. It's so filling. So, I try to tell my clients, eat things that are nutrient dense, that are going to fill you up so you don't overeat. And it's. So I like to put recipes like that on, even though I have some that aren't so perfectly healthy, but they're better than eating, junk food. So.
Yeah, definitely. And this is an awesome way to help people find something a little bit more creative on if you're running out of ideas and you want to check out her site, and it kind of keeps you inspired, right? So I know I've got some magazines. I'm going through some old, they're even old, and I didn't care because I was like, I need some ideas for fall, winter.
Yeah.
But so and you've got some stuff on here about oils as well. So you got some cleaning oil products.
Essential oils. I decided to not make this just a fitness website. I wanted to add in food and chemical-free living because I think that, really wellness and fitness, and it's such a lifestyle. It's not just food. It's not just working out. It's, for me, I don't understand how people don't even want to try essential oils or natural cleaning products because my animals are on my floor. And I think about that and I'm like, I kind of probably upset people a lot because I talk about it so much, but it's because I really believe in it. And I can't believe that I can clean my house with natural things and it does, just as good of a job, smells great, and you don't get any, dangerous toxins that babies or, dogs, things that are on the floor in your house that you don't think about that when we're up walking on it. So
I think that's where you and I are very much alike on the smelling aspect, where if you go somewhere and maybe it's a laundry detergent or a fabric softener, you kind of pick up on it, especially if you've been around oils for a while and using them pretty daily. You start to see or you understand how you can pick up that.
It's so funny you say
Febreze.
That. Yes, because I was in Home Depot and walking down that cleaning aisle because I think I needed rubber gloves or something. And I was sick. I had a headache. I'm like, and that's one of the reasons I really got into essential oils, because I get headaches from chemicals. And I couldn't believe it. I just was like, man, no wonder I love my essential oils. I walk into my house and I can't wait to just, be without all that other stuff, the air fresheners that people plug in when
The plugins,
oh
yeah.
my gosh. I mean, I tell people, sometimes they get mad at me, sometimes they want to hear it, and I'm just like, I'm just going to say it. If you get mad at me and kick me out of your house, that's fine. But I really know. I'm like, you have fabric softeners in here. You have, plug-in air freshener. And they're like, how did you know that? I'm like, I can smell it. They're like, is it strong? I'm like, I'm just saying it's chemical. You can tell. I can tell because I instantly start to feel something. My throat starts to get a little bit, tingly, or, you just kind of sense it.
Yeah. I've had the same thing. And you know what? I don't remember anybody ever telling me that, well, when you get introduced to oils and you use them regularly, you might have this happen to you. No one told me that.
Yeah.
I think I experienced one of those gel Febreze candles that someone had going while I was teaching yoga, a private, and I started to get my eyes swollen. I couldn't really breathe that well, and it was like toward the end. So it took a while. I was there probably over an hour, and it took a little bit of time for it. But by the time I left, I thought, I can't see. I can't open my eyes very well.
Yeah, no, I believe it. I have similar reactions to chemicals, and people, it's like they don't want to hear it sometimes. But maybe, I don't know, maybe it's going to take people time to read and learn, and or maybe they just don't have the same reactions, but it can't be good for them, and it can't be good for their animals and their kids, and, so.
Right. Well, yeah, if you're used to it, then, it's different. But I would agree. Once you get kind of taken away from it, then you start to have those experiences when you go somewhere else that you're not used to, or maybe even walking. Sometimes I'm walking and I can smell the drier sheets.
And those are one of the worst. If you look, I like the EWG website, the Environmental Working Group. If you look on there, they even have an app that you can put on your phone now where you can look up a product and it rates it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's from A to F. And those got the worst. They're one of the most dangerous things that we do in our home. I don't obviously do it. And people are like, well, what do you do for static? And I'm like, I don't have static. I don't know. I just don't have it. I use those balls in my dryer. But
same, yeah.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. I use the same, and I just put maybe a little lemon. It might depend on the time of the year, and I change up which oil I actually use. But
yeah. I mean, it's a process. I'm still, getting rid of things, but I've basically almost all my chemicals are gone out of my house. I use thieves cleaner for almost everything, the household cleaner, and I mix it in glass bottles and use it for everything. And people comment that my house smells great, and with having animals, I think that's a plus. So
yeah. So you have dogs and cats.
I do.
Yeah, and the dogs, they're a winter breed.
Yes, like you.
Right, like Luna. And they get along. They play together, but they're still very different from each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have Alaskan Malamutes, and I've had them for, I don't know how long have I had these dogs? Since my 20s, I think. I think this is like my 6th or 7th one that I've raised from puppyhood.
Wow. They are work.
They're a lot of work.
The winter breeds are a lot of work. They've got, well, I guess it depends too on which breed you're actually talking about, but like the Husky at least has 2 coats, and you've got that wintry soft coat is one layer. The top layer just repels water, snow.
Yep.
And it's actually from what I've been told, that's the long hair part of her coat, and it's hollow. And it literally just repels like ice and snow, and that's how come they can just kind of lay and burrow in a snowbank.
Yeah, it does. It keeps the snow from penetrating their coat.
Right.
In fact, I just pulled out a hair out of my mouth, so you should have noticed that. Sometimes it goes along with the territory.
And it's another lifestyle.
Yeah, it is.
So my dad was the one that pretty much introduced our family to Huskies, and he literally found one just running in the streets of Detroit.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, back probably early 70s. They didn't know how old he was, but they knew he was young, and his name was Sam. And when I came around then, I was always around a dog, a husky.
Yeah.
A husky breed of some type. They're thinking he was definitely a mixed breed, but the lifestyle, and then just getting attached to that breed type. They've got such a personality and energetic.
Yeah, they do. They do. They're a lot of work. You got to be willing to take the time, right? For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you probably tell people that.
I do.
I know I do.
Yeah.
I will. As much as you appreciate how much they think that they're beautiful, and they, see Luna walking down the street just kind of
Prancing.
Prancing, her head's up high, and she's, happy and energetic, but it definitely takes a lot of time,
And a certain type of person.
Yeah,
for sure. You
That's
got to
for sure.
want to walk them. You've got to want to be in the snow. If you don't want that, then I tell people please don't, because then they end up in shelters, and I feel
that
horrible.
happens.
Yeah, it happens a lot, and it's sad. Yeah,
I've heard that from multiple times. Actually, Luna has a husky friend, and she was saying the same thing from her sister out in California. The same thing, that once people understand what it takes to take care of them and maintain them, they end up in a shelter, and they had actually a bunch.
Yeah.
At one point.
Yeah. No, it's true. I've heard these stories, and I do. I don't push getting one, even though I love mine more than anything. You know that.
Uh-huh.
I do. They're my life. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They are, and because and you even cook for them.
I do. So actually, it's not cooked though.
Sure. Right.
I'm one of those raw feeder people that either you like them or you don't. So I feed. Yeah, I feed all my animals raw, even my cats. So,
But they look so good.
thank you. Yeah, I mean, I believe in it 100%. It is work.
The cats look great.
Thank you.
It's their coat and skin that.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny. I have a couple Maine Coon cats, and they supposedly are supposed to be bathed. That's what the breeder told me. They have never had a bath. They
Wow.
don't. I think it's the diet. I really do. They don't have dander. So I've been told that, they won't have dander if you feed them raw. So the cats are a little harder to feed raw, but I can't help it. I'm one of those people that if I know certain things, and I just have to go for it, even if it's a little more work. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how do you share though? Like, if you had a recipe, like what, or how, or if someone says, I think I want to do that. What would you tell them? How would you get them started?
It's funny because I have a new neighbor, a couple doors down, and Shelly wants
Welcome to
learn.
Sylvan Lake.
Yeah. She wants to learn how to feed her cat raw because the cat was so sick, and she rescued this cat, and so she's going to come over and watch me the next time I make a batch of cat food, because the cat food's a little bit more time consuming to do, and I have a grinder, so I grind the bones for the cats, and yeah, so I'm going to show her how to do it. And
Is it fish?
No, I get chicken thighs, and I grind them with a big grinder so that there's a little bit of chunks of bone in there, but not big ones at all, because they have to have the calcium from the bone. So the chicken thighs I use, so I grind a bunch of those. Like I'll do about 11 packages of the Amish chicken thighs. So it's about 11 pounds. And then I put in egg yolk and some supplements and some organ meats, chicken liver, gizzards. I know you love this, that you're a vegetarian.
Yeah.
Come on over and hold some bloody liver.
Jeez. Oh.
So then you grind that all together and mix it with the supplements. And then I actually freeze most of it so that I don't have to do this all the time. I figured out I have to do it about every 2.5 weeks.
So you're food prepping for your animals.
Yeah.
And you, in a way.
Yeah.
Maybe not as much. Maybe you're not as busy as you want, like all of us, right? At once. But still, that's preparation for them, and two different types of animal.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's not as hard for the dogs. I mean, no.
Okay.
Because it's chicken, it's meat, it's organ meats, maybe some pumpkin and yogurt.
Do you make them all eat outside?
They do eat outside. I have to. Yeah. I mean, if I can't, like my older one, if she's having a bad day or something, I'll put her in the screen porch with a tarp or some towels down or something. But yeah. No, I don't let them drag it around.
Luna's gonna say hi.
I see that.
Yeah, the most I can do with Luna is sardines, the raw sardine.
The canned ones, yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're cooked. That's okay. One day you're gonna switch to raw, and you'll be over with the hands and the meat.
once I can see past it, right?
Yeah.
She's gonna,
She says, I want raw, Mom.
yeah, she says, "Can we please have dinner now?" You got some time, girl. But yeah, I mean, fun breed. I mean, one time we even had them out sledding together
Yeah, that was great.
in the snow. And we had them literally hooked up like they were gonna be a snow dog team.
Yeah, and they did it.
Yes, Luna wants to be lead for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun. They are fun.
Yeah, and and then if anything, I mean, it's great because they will want you to go outside. You have no choice. There's no choice in this. It's not like, oh well, today's too cold, or even today it's a little weird. It's raining and wind, and you still have to go.
Yeah, you do have to go.
You have to take them out. And then what is great is having them with friends. If they've got the buddy system to play in the backyard,
Yeah.
burn off some of that energy.
You got to burn the energy, although they'll wreck your house for sure.
Or just drive you crazy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mine will wreck the house.
Mine just makes me crazy. She's just it's the pacing back and forth, and she's smart. They are smart dogs. I mean, at 5:00 she knows this is dinner time.
They do. Yeah.
About
They are.
4:30 it starts.
Yeah,
That's too funny.
for sure.
Yeah. So you also like to have your garden, do some flowering.
Yeah.
He has like some really nice roses and
Yeah, thank you.
yeah. So
Trying to do it organically, that's been a challenge, but I'm definitely not into chemicals, so I'm trying really hard to not use chemicals on anything outside either.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is it because of the handling of the product?
No,
Yourself
more,
or-
well, I mean, that's not great either, but it's more my animals and the soil
sure.
and the water or lake right here. It's just, I just feel better not using any chemicals.
That's an interesting point because of us being around the lake and using stuff for our yards and flowers and things like that. I don't know if a lot of people think about that, but
I think some people do. Some people just want a really nice lawn. I just tease my neighbors and tell them that they can eat the dandelion greens and the dandelions off the lawn, and they just shake their head at me like, you're nuts. You've lost it. You can eat dandelions.
well,
You know that.
Well, yeah, sure you can. What about mushrooms? I mean, not all of them,
Yeah.
but there's mushroom hunters.
I did that class about eating your greens, eating your backyard greens. What was it? Echo and Walsh.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I did a dandelion green salad, and I did a purslane tabbouleh. Luna, did you like the purslane tabbouleh? You can't eat that. It's got tomatoes and stuff. I don't know. And then I made vegetarian grape leaves. So I made 3 different weeds, basically, that we have around here, and I made food and gave the recipes out, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
So what's really interesting is that you're interested in greens, or about the health of them, or what, but also still with meat.
Yes, I grew up eating meat and lamb and everything. But I also grew up eating a lot of vegetarian food. So I love vegetarian food. And I do think it's very healthy. I think we need to eat more greens and more vegetables. And I think most people I meet tend not to eat enough vegetables. So I love giving them recipes for how to add more greens to your diet, even if it's green smoothies or whatever. That's another thing I add to the dog's food is the green smoothies.
Really?
Yeah. So it's definitely, for me, a variety. And I understand that the meat is not the same as it used to be, what we've done to the meat. And obviously it's easier. I get grass-fed beef when I can. It gets expensive.
Sure.
I don't eat a lot of beef, but I do eat meat. I'm definitely not a vegetarian.
But you have a nice, well-rounded palate.
Yes. Yeah, I
Basically.
definitely.
So you're not. It's not that you're even an advocate for one or the other. You're just understanding the importance, or just even how to be well-rounded.
Yeah, I mean, being a vegetarian, I think you've got to be aware of what you might be lacking in your diet, and you need to make sure that you're getting it through a supplement or however you're going to do that. But I definitely think that we need to eat more greens, more vegetables. I mean, I have clients that are so surprised at the protein content of some greens. They're really, really surprised that you can get protein from greens.
Definitely.
Peas and, just green leafy things. And, then they sometimes will want to try new recipes and, try to do that. So I have a lot of vegetarian clients. So
do you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. I'm just feeding the dog a treat so she doesn't think that I'm ignoring her.
Malamutes are also pigs. Man, are they? They're all about the food.
What is the last thing that one of them has done that you maybe you've never seen before? Or you just scratch your head, really?
This new one that I have is I guess I never knew about counter surfing dogs before because I never had one. She's a counter surfer. She literally, the coconut oil, I told you, right? Oh my gosh, I don't think I should put this on this, but she ate a whole bottle of coconut oil off the counter, the cooking one, the liquid one, a whole brand new 16-ounce bottle of coconut oil, and let's just say she woke me up at 2 o'clock in the morning. Yeah.
And it wasn't good.
It wasn't good at all.
That was not pretty.
Oh my gosh, I can't keep anything on the counter. And
coconut oil is not bad for dogs, but when they eat the whole thing... Maybe not a good idea.
No, she is just into everything. She's still young, so we'll see. Hopefully that she'll grow out of the counter surfing. So
I'm sure she will.
Yeah.
I mean, Luna has grown out of so many things, even though she's still very active and curious. If anything, I think it's more or less that she does things when she knows she's been left behind.
Yeah.
And I would say definitely now that we could be a little bit more attached just with being around more. So there's that to deal with too, right?
Yeah, for sure.
They don't like when you leave.
No.
They want to be part of the party.
They do.
I'm like, well, why can't I come?
They do, for sure.
Where are you guys going?
Oh my gosh.
As soon as the bags start packing up.
They do. Yeah, they're not like regular dogs, for sure. I grew up with a shepherd, and they were very different than my Malamutes.
I would agree. They've got a ton of personality. And it's funny how even same breed, but like different dog will be very different from the other one. So the other husky that I had, similar in a way, but definitely grew out of a lot of things by the time she was 5 even. It was almost like she knew, like, no, I don't participate in that anymore. That's kind of dumb just to keep chasing a ball around the yard. It was almost like I'd rather be with the people.
Yeah.
And let's go for a walk or a drive or something like that.
Yeah, they're people dogs for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They like to be part of the pack, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, huskies, they're very cool. I know there's a little boy in the neighborhood, and he screams for Luna every time he sees her.
Aww.
It's so cute. But one of the times was over the summer, and he was in the lake, swimming, playing, doing his own thing. We're walking by. He sees Luna. Husky! From the lake. Like, he wasn't near us, really. He was away, So apparently he does have this. I've seen him before after that. And he has some, like, dire love for huskies. Because he even told me about
the Snow Dog movie.
Yeah, maybe that's
all these kids.
Because he says, well, then we have this other dog, but it's not a husky.
Yeah, it's not the same.
Not the same. And it was so cute.
Aw.
Yeah, it was nice. But she gets a lot of compliments when we go for a walk, that's for sure.
I had a guy ask me this morning, he's like, can I ask you a question? I see you walking those 2 dogs all the time. He's like, do they ever take you down? I'm like, yeah, actually they have. And he's like, well, what happened? I said, one time I got knocked out. I did. I ended up getting knocked out. Remember I told you that?
Yeah,
and they were
I do remember.
Walking all over me. So I asked the lady that saw it, and I said, did they like bark and try to get help? She's like, no, they stepped all over you. I was thinking like the old lassie. It would be like, okay, let's go get help now. No, just stepping all over me. Like, hurry up, get up. We got to finish our walk.
Yeah, I have a feeling that would have been the same, like, or they would have just ran away, like, okay, bye.
Yeah,
go find my friend.
You got to be willing to have a good sense of humor and possibly get injured when you have Malamutes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, especially the male huskies, it's still a little different than the females. Females are a little bit more timid, or they've got a little bit of well, just that female, persona, right?
Yeah.
And males are just strong and bold, and she has a male friend. And actually, you just mentioned being brought down. I've never been brought down by a dog before, and it just happened to me the other day because he was so excited to see her, and I made a mistake and took the leash in my left hand, and I'm not left-handed. That's not my dominant arm. And my arm is stretched all the way out with the leash, and he was just running for Luna, and I fell. I don't even know if I've fallen that hard like that in a long time,
Yeah.
And it went right underneath my armpit, like all down the side
No.
body there. It's like where I hit the hardest.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Be careful. You can have a rotator cuff injury.
I know. Yeah, I know. Right. Yeah. I got lucky. I think I'm fine now. I'm coming out of it.
Good news.
I can finally do a down dog today. This was like 5 days ago. It was a little rough. Couldn't stretch that part of my body out. But I mean, how fun when they do get together and see them play, especially in the snow.
Yeah, it is.
And they just go for hours in the snow.
Mm-hmm. Yep, they never get sick of it.
But they can get into mischief as soon as that weather changes, the temperature drops. You're like, uh-oh.
Oh, yeah.
What's going on? It got quiet. What are they into?
It's true.
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, if you were to write a book, I mean, why don't you write a book?
It's funny. I want to write a book. So I've been thinking about, my problem is I have too many topics. I have people that want me to write a book on raw food diet. I have people that want me to write a book on women in menopause and working out with weights. And
so you got a series coming out.
Yeah.
It started with a blog.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's good though.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a lot.
I could see you
interest.
doing that.
Yeah. Thank you.
No, you do have a lot of interest but it all comes together 360.
Yeah.
It's
all the same basic lifestyle kind of. Yeah.
Yeah. It's all, well, I mean, and it's about living. Like, how are you taking care of yourself? Which is something that maybe we should all be looking at a little bit more closely with everything going on anyways, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, no, I agree.
We don't know what's going to happen or what's going on. So, starting with eating, I mean, do you take a lot of supplements, a lot of vitamins?
I try to get my vitamins from foods, but I do take, some supplements. I'm not a big supplement pusher, or I do tell my clients to try to get their vegetables, in and get their, I know people will say, well, it's not the same, but there's still a lot of nutrients in greens and vegetables. And if you can get organic, some things are more important to get organic than others. But I think, we all could do good with some, vitamin D3 and, you've heard all the stuff about some extra vitamin C and things like that and zinc, but, yeah, I think that if you eat healthy, you don't need to take as many supplements as people that don't eat healthy. Obviously, kind of makes sense.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that we're supposed to get our nutrients from foods, and foods can heal our body if we, make them appropriately, and we're not like, frying in bad, vegetable oils and cheap oils and things like that. And, just kind of using common sense with how we cook.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. I would agree. I mean, I agree with that for sure.
Yeah.
And I mean, I still take supplements. Sometimes I switch it up though.
Yeah.
Like, of course, like the women's daily I keep, and then there's sometimes where I feel like I don't need this one as much, and I might stop that one for a little bit, but come back to it at another time when I feel like maybe I need them. But also, I think that it's probably got to do with as you age, too. So maybe something that you might have needed in your 30s, you may not need them later, or vice versa.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a lot of holistic doctors that'll do like, blood workups for you and tell you what you're lacking in. And they don't always believe in like a multivitamin because you may not need all that. You may be getting most of your nutrients from your food. So I agree with that too. My mom actually is in a foster home. She's 86, and her doctor had said that they don't like that my mom's getting a multivitamin. Well, it's a food-based multivitamin. It's not like a one-a-day synthetic vitamin from the drugstore.
Okay.
And I'm really against my mom getting just any vaccine and stuff that they push on her and, drugs and things like that, pharmaceutical drugs. But here the doctor's, calling me and saying that she shouldn't be taking a multivitamin. And I knew kind of where he was going with it. And I said, it's a food-based supplement. It's a good one. It was Mega Food, and they're basically a good company, I think, from what I know of them.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom doesn't get sick. And thank God through this whole COVID thing, she has been very well, and it's got D3 in it. So I make sure she gets I think it's the women's over 55. But I don't like synthetic vitamins because, they're created in a lab. They're not taken from food. So if they're taken from food and, they might be a little more money, but, go to Better Health and wait till the weekend. You get your coupon and
Yeah,
you're
true.
better off, So, yeah.
Yeah.
So for now, that's what I'm doing with my mom and trying to keep her healthy over there. And
Wow, she's 86.
yeah. Yep. I know. It's a scary time for them, isn't it?
Yeah. What does she say?
So she's bored. She hasn't been out of there since February. I usually take her out once or twice a week. It's like an adult foster home, like a house. It's nice. Very good place. And, they're doing a good job, but she's not used to being stuck like that. And I feel bad for her. So hopefully we'll get this taken care of and get them out a little bit here and there,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are most places, I think, everybody runs it a little bit differently, but they still pretty much all have the same strict rule. You can't go inside.
Yeah, I can't go inside. I haven't been in there since February. I've gone outside with her, distance, and she'll sit outside, in the nice weather. But now obviously it's getting cold here. So, here we go. And just gotta think positive and hold on a little longer here. That's all we can do, right?
That's all we can really do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously we haven't gone through the winter months really with this. We were coming out of winter into a spring, and me personally, I sort of feel like that was easier. That was easy to, it wasn't easy in a way because we didn't know what was going on. But once we kind of started to understand what was going on, and then we could all be outside. And
yeah, well, you and I are alike in the way of we don't want to be in. I hate being inside.
Exactly.
It's really hard. So when it's, I don't think we're gonna sit outside in our snowmobile suits all winter long.
I have been encouraging people though to get some snowshoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because think about it. We do have the trail at least. And if we do get snow, which would probably be better than mud, and it's a little easier to walk in snow and it's a little prettier than mud, right? But why not,
Yeah.
snowshoe it up.
Well, with this whole pandemic thing, I've been, on my computer, Skyping and FaceTiming clients, obviously, instead of going to their homes and doing people outside. So it's been the nicest summer for that, right? And then all of a sudden, now it's getting cold. People are not going to want to work out outside. It's just a little bit chilly. So
it's chilly. Yeah. Well, at least for, your own sake to get, anyway, like I guess I was sort of saying with the dogs, it makes it easier to go outside and play with them and walk them.
Yeah.
But if you don't have that, I would still suggest get out.
Yeah, for sure.
Bundle up where, you just got to layer up. It's all about that base layer. The base layer, the snow pants.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Just tough it out, got to get out and get some fresh air.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when you're older, I guess it's probably a little harder to try to do all of that all the time, But,
I train seniors, and to tell them to go out and walk in the snow is just not a good option. So they used to go to the mall. Sometimes they'd go walk in the mall, but now obviously with the pandemic, so it's things are a little harder. So
yeah,
I have one lady that's she's funny. She doesn't tell me her age. She wouldn't even write it down in the paperwork I gave her. She's got to be 90-ish. And we FaceTime workout and we do everything, with a chair and, everything inside because she can't really get out now at all. She used to walk a little bit outside, but yeah, it's just not going to happen. So there's always something you can do inside.
Right. And that's good that she's open to do that with you, you know.
It's great. Yeah.
Not everybody's been tuned in with the Zoom yoga or workouts.
Yeah.
So, but who knows? Maybe we definitely will be, or more of us will be now. With when it gets colder, you need to do something.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Anything to keep moving and keep healthy, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and there is a lot you can do inside, and you just have to be kind of creative or open-minded with your space. Don't be so hard on this because I know it's happened to me a couple times too, where I think this space isn't good enough.
You can do it anywhere for sure.
Right.
I have a couple that I train that has their workout room in their living room. Yeah. With the weights and a rack in the same room that they have their TV and their couches. And so it's just in this little corner and they move stuff around and it's a nice house. It's, but it's their place where they don't want to set up a whole room for a workout room and that's where they do it and it works for them. So,
yeah.
And then the nice weather, they take their TRX and the weights and put it out on their patio and
sure.
Yeah. So
that's great.
Yeah. I mean, if you are willing to, maneuver around stuff, I think you can do it anywhere. You just have to be, like you said, be creative and be open to, staying fit. You don't have to have a fancy gym to go to. I prefer doing it in, unique places and the variety and being outside and, the gym would be my last place I want to be stuck in all day long, to be honest with you. I have a gym in my house, but it's, going someplace, you don't have to. Like, you can make it work in your house.
Like the local gym.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And women like it because they get up in the morning. They don't feel like they have to look any certain way. And they just roll out of bed and either Skype or when I used to do the in-homes in the morning and they know I'd show up and they didn't care what they looked like in front of me. So obviously it was easy for them. And then they'd go to work or, take care of their kids or do whatever they did for the day. And it worked. It was just easier for their schedule. So a lot of people don't go to gyms anymore. So even though I hope they do well, and I mean, I hope people go back and so they have their choice, right? So
you'd like to have the variety.
Yeah.
If someone, if someone's not used to doing all that at home, or I'm imagining like anyone that's in an apartment, right, that might not want to be there 24/7 if they're working there, and then they're like, oh well, here's my computer over here. I just move over there, so now I do my workout. I don't actually drive anywhere, go to a gym, and
I don't know. I have a girl, 25. She just got married, and she's been doing it twice a week with me, in her living room of her apartment.
Oh yeah,
so, yeah. Her and her husband in an apartment with their dog and cat. Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. That's good. Positive vibe, right?
Small spaces, and they're like a DIY show. Small spaces, or yeah. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's really nice. So you use some in the backyard a little bit. You're saying, and then you have your home gym.
Yes.
Okay, so you got your home space downstairs. That's all with all the equipment and everything.
Yep. And I have definitely been doing mostly virtual though right now.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's working. So I'm just going with the flow and whatever works for people right now.
So if anybody wanted to find you and, look you up maybe this winter when they finally says, oh yeah, you know what, it's about time I do something and I might need some motivation.
Yeah. Yep. My website, they can contact me on elissasfitness.com. It's ELISSAS as in Sam. Fitness, FITNESS .com. There's actually another trainer like down south without the S, and people have been sending her emails for Elissa Fitness. Is that funny? So now we're friends. I'm like, she's like, I got another email from you, for you.
Oh, how nice.
So, I know, right? So it's Elissa's with an S, fitness at or fitness.com. And my email is elissasfitness@gmail.com. So either way.
Great. So then they can see your blog, your recipes. Even if people are like, I need some more inspiration, they can even find you on Facebook. You got a Facebook page and Instagram?
Yep. I mean,
Okay.
I definitely do more Facebook. I know
Sure.
I'm kind of need to get back more into the Instagram thing, but I put a few posts every week on Facebook. So, yep, Elissa's Fitness on Facebook. And yeah.
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 Get the stuff out there for people to see it, right?
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah. Well, thanks for being here. I only got one more thing for you. You got to pick out a Luna Moon lip balm.
Oh, excellent.
You've got some flavors over there. Maybe whatever's your
caramel swirl.
Okay.
And this is pumpkin spice.
The fall favorites.
Yum. How do you flavor caramel swirl? Is
Well,
it a secret?
Actually, it is a blend that I get. So the pumpkin one is more or less like individual essential oils.
Which one's more? So are they both natural though?
They both are natural, but the pumpkin one is going to have more of your young living.
That I like? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm taking pumpkin.
Because I have to keep it open.
Thank you.
Everybody is different, whether they don't even want a flavor or not.
Yeah.
So I do have a pretty good variety of all of that. But
Very cool how you've labeled them and really pretty. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it.
Nice little gift.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me on your podcast.
The podcast number 2.
Number 2.
Number 2. Yeah, we will look forward to having you come back, and maybe you'll have that book launch.
Yes, that would be great.
That would be cool. That would be awesome. Well, thanks for being here and using or sharing your knowledge and your inspiration. And we're reaching out to anybody out there, right, in the fitness world or wants a little motivation, right?
Yeah. Thank you, Miss.
Thank you. See ya.
See ya.